Good afternoon, it's Man Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Let me know if you're in the chat. Hit a one if you could be able to hear me clearly before we get started. All right, let's roll on with this. All right, man. Let's just see the email. And this person has no idea that this conversation has been solved already. It's been solved a long time ago. And it was a fake conversation from the start because really none of these dudes were street dudes. And really none of these dudes were educated lames. Like, there's nothing lame about having a level of inexperience with uh, people who are ill prepared. There's no self esteem to be associated with that. So what happened was, like everything that you can brag on without any type of proof, people use the fact that there was this sort of street guy as the reason why that they were behind in life. The reason why that they couldn't make the decisions that everybody else should have made by the time they should have made it was simply because there was just so much ass and they just couldn't focus on what was going on because the box was too important to them. Meanwhile, the other people who actually did go to school like they were supposed to and did all that other stuff, it was really not their fault that there was an inventory for them to deal with once they became into their level of productivity. And this is what I don't like about most married dudes in this space. And I mean, doing this level of gaslighting to people within your own group should net your ass a brick to the face, for real. I don't want to hear anybody laying down cover and fire for the outcomes that we have in this community. Nobody should be big up in anybody around here because the two groups of people who they're trying to get together, these people need to be far apart. There's really no reason why overly experienced women who is ill prepared to accept productivity should be leveraged against inexperienced men who would do anything for access. I think that's really stupid. I don't think anybody with any level of sense would even allow these type of things to happen. Because when I have these conversations, these type of conversations with women, they get it when they're talking about their son. They get it when they're talking about their favorite nephew. They get it when they're talking about a specific sort of person that they care about their outcome with. They don't get it when it comes to them. They don't get it when it comes to their homegirl. They turn a blind eye when it's all types of other people. This is what I'm saying. Like, none of this stuff really makes any sort of sense. It just doesn't. Because I've never heard LeBron James say, or even Kobe Bryant say, or even Michael Jordan say, after they won a championship, you know what? I really wish I was back in high school. I've never heard anybody say that. What's going on, Blaze? What's going on, Little Rock? What's going on, Brilliant? Make sure I hit the like button coming in. I'm not sure why my notifications ain't going out. But that's where we are. So you have to realize that no one should be leveraging street culture right now. Nobody. Nobody should be leveraging street culture. Nobody should be going around talking about how they a street dude. Nobody should be doing that. Nobody. But it's happening though. Because see, you can't go around your town being a street dude. Because everybody's a street dude No sets are claimed, no dirt is put in, no work is put in, no profit is made, there's no proof of concept, nothing. Everybody just a random street dude from all over every portion of town. When we know in every single town, there are different sects everywhere within that city. Always different sects. Everywhere. So the whole thing is fake. Like, most of the so-called Pookie dudes did that shit because they wanted to fit in. And they got leaned on by older individuals who sabotaged and messed up their entire life. Like, these people took charges over stuff that they didn't have anything to do with, just so that way they could seem more down than the next person by accepting charges and going to jail and prison in most cases for a period and number of years to get out and to be miserable as hell that they went through all that stuff just to fit in with a group of people that never even liked them. You see, they normally find this out once they get to jail or prison. They figure out the people who are actually from their area is some of the worst people towards them while they're locked up. You see, nobody tells people about that. Nobody really tells people about those things. They don't. So when you've got so many men who are behind in life, to be quite honest with you, the only way they can bridge the gap very quickly is to make the unsubstantiated claim that they got all the ass back in the day. And everybody is always something back in the day. No one is anything now, but everything is always something from back in the day or a time period that you can't verify or from women that don't even claim these dudes. If you're a street dude, the last thing you're doing is sitting behind a green screen talking about how street you are. What's wrong, Van Black? Yeah, it's all fake. It's all cosplay. It's, it's like when I see these people dress up in military fatigues and going around open carrying like there's something going on in the suburbs or something like that. I'm like, what are you doing? This is pure cosplay. You're gang banging from a very protected environment. What kind of street dude is that? And the only thing that makes a person a lame is not actually appealing to people who have far more experience than they should actually have. Like, most of these women have had 3 times more dick over the lifetime of their fucking mother at 19 years old. You mean to tell me that a dude without money is supposed to compete with some shit like that? No. And most dudes thinks they're pookies because they got baby mama issues. Dude, you got baby mama issues. It's because she either changed her mind and decided that you were going to have baby mama issues, regardless of how you act. You picked wrong, or you stayed within the situation that you shouldn't have tried to make work. Either way, all those things were bound to go wrong. But a lot of people base their whole self esteem on sexual access. Sexual access that is subsequently have destroyed their entire life. But rather than admitting that they were wrong, rather than admitting that they got access to the wrong person under the wrong circumstances, they come out here and they try to make it look like this is a boon for them when it's actually a bane for them. You have to realize that this is a far gone era of where arguing about meaningless nonsense like this over and over again, because there's always seems to be some other guy who who wants to come through and put their 2 cents in on it. Nobody should be trying to be turning themselves into the embodiment of any loser class men. And at least if you are, you better have put the bill for it. Because I don't think there's really any educated lanes within this space. Oh, Ken Biggins, thanks for the 499 super chat. So what you have to realize is, like the Pookie Ray Ray educated lane bullshit is no different. It's another part of the gender war that was fought overnight on panels, and those fights didn't need to happen either. You see, the reason why they wanted to fight this battle is because they didn't want to organize and strategize to end these problems. As you can see, most of these people do not want to get rid of these problems. They want these problems to be here forever. They want these problems to be here for the next generation. That's why they want to tie you down to the same problems that made them where they are. Because if you're new to being a failure and they've been failing all their life, then they have more experience than you. But see, since you don't know how to evaluate information, you actually think these people out here dealing with these actual women that they complain about all the time. The answer is they're not dealing with these women at all. They wish they had the experience with them, and this is the so-called Pookie dudes. I've never seen a group of men so willing to show off basic ass women who don't bring anything to the table. In order for a person to bring open legs to the table, that's not really anything of substance. And then again, we're still going back to this tangibles versus image thing. What's going on, Wack World? What's going on, LOM? But this is where we are. It's like, dude, no person is to be taken seriously trying to keep up this level of conversation. Inexperience don't make you lame. Chasing after some shit that you shouldn't be chasing after, that's what make you lame. Not moving on to better circumstances, that's what make you lame. What's going on, on son? Like a lot of shit makes people lame. Like trying to be a street dude in 2022, that shit's lame. Claiming that you have game and all this goofy ass shit, that shit's lame. Making your whole platform based on leveraging a woman's level of disrespect, that shit's lame. There's a lot of lame ass shit going on here, man. And it's not the educated versus the uneducated. I think the shit is just lame across the fucking board. Because you got uneducated lanes, the street kind of dudes, and then you have the real educated lane, which is dudes who don't have any tangible level of education. So they try to leverage all types of other shit to supplement the fact that they have real education that lead to a skill. You see, education should lead to a skill. A thought process should lead to a skill. My MBA is in project management, IT project management to be specific. But I was already doing that. So there was really no need for me to go to school for IT project management when I was already doing it. Was it a boom? Yes, to some employers, and some of them didn't even care. Oh, Doug, thanks for the file super chat. So you have to understand that when you can't focus on progress, you have to make up reasons why you don't want to move forward. You got to make those reasons up. You got to make up reasons. How come you can't participate in society? Those are reasons that you have to make up. Here's the thing. What I'm doing right now, has nothing to do with my education. But here's what the educational process made me do. It made me look at things in a different way, looking at these books under those specific circumstances. And now that you have the process of learning down, you know what the hell I had to do after I went to school? Learn a hell of a lot more. That had nothing to do with that curriculum. And what I found more about the educational process was that nobody needed to force me into a school. That's something that I chose to do. Just like I chose to chase down the information from the transportation industry. Just like I chose to chase down the information when it came to land development. The information was already out there. I just needed a renewed interest in the information that was already out there. And there was not a school in the world that was going to get me interested in that. I had to do that on my own. Just like Wacky said, man. Imaginary negotiating table is also lame. Lame. We have a lot of proud ass losers around here, man. Proud losers. Proud, proud, proud. Never accomplished anything, never done anything, but they're proud losers. So much to the point to where they don't even want to hear about productivity or any level of success unless it's relegated towards something that they're comfortable with. Now, a lot of these people don't understand. The best information comes from you not being comfortable with what's being taught, and you actually have to listen to what's being actually taught to get information out of it that you can use. I remember the first time I went to one of these business meeting presentation things about real estate, and the person's name was Russ Whitney, a person I've never heard of or anything else. And by the time I paid that $1,000 to go to that 3 day course, we all felt played for going in there. Want to know why? There was plenty of real estate people around the Denver metro area that we could have asked about Russ Whitney, but we decided to get their information in a 3 day class. Which the 3 day class was nothing but a big ass infomercial to getting your ass off into other classes that has nothing to do with you getting in real estate. After that point in time, I had to admit, like, man, how on earth did I expect this person that I didn't know? They just marketed to me, and all of a sudden I bought their product, and buying this product was going to lead to me buying other products. That was some lame ass shit that I did. Why? I didn't know shit about real estate. And you know who I went to? Some of the worst people on the planet to learn how to do real estate. Rather than getting my ass in there, bird dogging for people, and asking for help like everybody else who's successful in real estate. You know what I wanted? I wanted a system, but I went after a product. You see, I didn't know the difference between a product and a system. And since I didn't know the difference between a product and a system, you're going to chase this product to wherever it goes. And your degree of gullibility is what's going to keep leading you further and further down this path. And I see this Pookie Ray educated lame shit is no different. Like I said, this is a conversation you can only have here. You cannot have this conversation with anybody else outside this space. Because if you go up to somebody claiming about how much game you got or any of this other, I'm telling you, man, they're going to look at you like you lost your mind. They are going to look at you like that. Most of these people are lame, period. Coming around here, you don't know what they do, lying about their life, all these live streams about the same repetitive ass subjects all the time. Yeah, that's some lame ass shit. But do they get called lame for doing so? Oh no. Everybody's the Pookie, but nobody's the lame. When in actuality, everybody's the lame and nobody's the Pookie in the situation. That's what it is. We're leveraging caricatures, and we're trying to bring these things from the fictional world into the real world. These are fake battles that are set up to show how stupid you are as a person to see if you can engage in this shit. These type of conversations don't go on around cultured people. Cultured people don't even come anywhere close to trying to have meaningless conversations about this. If you ever do business with other groups of people, like Arabs or Jews and everything else, you walk in, you do the business, and you're done. There really isn't any small talk or any of this other foolishness that are going on, or none of this other stuff. I would say anybody calling themselves high value for any reason is worth the 72-hour hold at this point. Because who are you proclaiming this stuff to? Remember, this high value thing is less than 5 years old. You mean to tell me that not proclaiming yourself as high value or not was the reason why these people made all these horrific choices and decisions throughout their life is because there wasn't enough high value men around? Like this stuff was happening to most men in society, no matter how high your value is. You mean tell me that Michael Jordan wasn't a high value dude? He got a divorce. Tom Cruise. But it's the people who don't have money who have it figured out, and it's the people who do have money who don't have it figured out. But that's where we're at, though. We're trying to make this stuff real because it's real to them. Like calling yourself high value in front of the wrong person is gonna set your ass up for a lick. And nobody can teach you how to be high value either. That's the other thing. No one can teach you how to feed yourself into a group of people that you shouldn't be dealing with in the first place. That's something you have to delude yourself into. Not just them, the dude who own Amazon. Steve Jobs didn't even see his family at all. So that's what I'm saying. It's like this is what happens when you want to live your whole life through the virtual reality construct. Oh man, I got a whole live stream on that, Guy King. I got a whole live stream on that. A whole live stream on that. A whole one. That's coming next weekend. What's going on, Sunday H? But that's where we are. Now, keep in mind, the people who want to come together, when they're not talking about coming together, this is the stuff that they're focusing on. This is the stuff that they're focusing their time on. There's nothing wrong with dealing with a team of equals. Because when you're dealing with a team of equals, everybody's putting similar time in. But if you're dealing with a team of parasites or a team of lessers, somebody's going to be bringing some type of unsuspecting value to the group that is going to be divided amongst that group. That's the difference. And a lot of people want to hide the fact that they don't have anything behind people who do. There's there's no justifiable reason to be having this level of discourse within the country right now with all these things that are going on. What's going on, Soul Provider? You had people, while diesel is damn near $6 a gallon, drive around the Capitol effing Beltway to protest mask when there's not a single place outside of maybe Procter and Gamble that I've been to in the last year and a half who refuse to load you because you don't have a mask. Actually, it's the other way around. They don't even want to deal with you, so you got to put your paperwork in the back of the trailer while they load and unload you, and you have to get the hell off their property. That's what's been going on out here. But if you let those people tell it, they used all that labor to go to the White House to protest things that are not even happening. And to me, it smells like an AstroTurf situation because with diesel, $5 a gallon, you're just driving around the Capitol Beltway with no loads for weeks on end. I don't know an outfit in the world that can waste that type of time, money, and resources and not run it. Right now, I'm in Baltimore getting loaded at the docks that I know usually load at. I get loaded with lead and I go to Warrensburg, Missouri. But that's where we are. You see, you keep having to have these meaningless conversations is because you can't provide any value. So while everybody else is gathering their own value, these individuals are having placebo based conversations about fights that don't need to be waged against people that we don't need to be fighting against for reasons that don't need to be had here. Yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah, I am. I'm at the port. I'm on the other side of where the what do you call it, cruise ship docks at. Because right now the Enchantment of the Seas is docking, and every time I come here, every other weekend, especially the loadout on a Friday, I always see the Enchantment of the Seas cruise ship. Thanks for the $5 super chat. I've yet to hear the benefits of having access to multiple women. The reality is multiple women, multiple liabilities, multiple headaches. Yes, you are correct. What's going on, Mid-Tide Dictionary? What's going on, man? But that's where we are. And the people who got all the game are in stable relationships, counseling people who are not in relationships and who don't have any access to any type of woman. Like, how does that work? Or somebody is dating somebody that they've been dating for 7 or 8 years, but they're telling you brand new things about game. How's that? How does that work? How does that work? And how do you judge victory? Because if the people with the money are strictly losing very publicly, and the people who don't have any experience are labeled losers, what are the people who actually preach and teach this information? What are they labeled? You see, that's the thing. Nobody knows how to judge success because nobody knows how to judge character. Nobody can legitimize this path is because no one's on the path. Period. And it's not just here, it's everywhere. Everybody's running the same con game on unsuspecting people. You have to realize, man, that the truth is very easy to lay out for people. There's no ulterior motive to truth. Truth is very provable to people, especially objective truth. But lies take a long time to explain. You have to explain it over and over again. It takes a whole lot of social reinforcement. That's why you guys have to realize is that no government is talking about having an educated land versus Pookie and Ray Ray situation. Nobody's doing that. You think they're doing that in Ukraine? They're not doing that in Ukraine. Your ass can't leave the country if your ass is 2016 and 60. Sorry, that's the way it is. That's the quote right there, man. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So Shonda, you have to ask yourself, all of these happily married people, how come they didn't beat these dating coaches to the dating coach market? How did they get beat to the market by people who are not even married? How did those people lose that specific market share to people who don't even have the level of experience and bragging like they do? I mean, game is just another way of just saying elite level bullshit. That's all it is, man. Because it's never definable. Whenever you ask for a straight answer, it's always something that is never tangible, and it's just crazy. What's going on, dude? Divide? But like I said, my mother and father was married. My father didn't have to go around saying he was a high value dude. He didn't have to go around saying how much game he had or how bad his pimp hand was. Like, no, the kids were the results of your actual teachings. There was no need for all this boisterous talking and all this type of nonsense. There wasn't none of that stuff. Well, well, God King, like you have to realize that people, like, I don't feel sorry for the people who want to make a deal no matter what. You have to realize that those are people that you can't save. People who want to make a deal no matter what's going on, you can't save those people because no matter what, they're going to keep marching across that minefield, whether they have a map or whether they don't have it. What's wrong, Judge? Okay, so who won? Okay, so who wins the educated lane Pookie Ray Ray conversation? How is that score tallied? Because nobody's turning on cameras and going up in real women's faces. Nobody is really asking women what the hell they want, which one of these type of individuals they think can produce better. What's going on, Ike Oakham? Anything for the $50 super chat. So it's like, okay, before you get into a war, there are objectives that needs to be accomplished in order for you to have some level of defeat, one way or another. What's going on, Yuri? So I'm not sure if many of you guys know who Colin Powell is, but there's the Powell doctrine. And there's about 4 or 5 things that go over what the power doctrine is when it comes to war. That is because between the end of the Vietnam War and before the Iraq War, we was pretty much on the power doctrine because he was planning most of the military conflicts. And having clear objectives before you get into a fight is one of those clear objectives before you walk in. Let's say that you walk into a situation, you don't know what's going on, you don't know who's in charge, you can't verify the track record of anybody here, but somehow you're to pick up weapons and you're to take a side without knowing anything. What kind of sense does that make? It's kind of like if the South would have won the war, where the hell are they going to work? Think about it. Let's say if the South would have won the Civil War and all those people who were white who fought for the Confederacy, where were they going to work if they could just enslave most of the people across the United States? Where were those people going to work at? That's how much sense this doesn't make in fighting the dating coach and the relationship conversation. It doesn't make any sense. You have to know what side you're on and who's benefiting from what. If you told people, Shonda, to write this shit down on a piece of paper, your top 1,000 issues, the Pookie Ray Ray versus Educated Lame conversation would be in like the hundreds of thousands. We would have solved every other problem on the planet before we did this Pookie and Ray Ray versus Educated Lame shit. But see, but people want to turn themselves into synthetic educated lames though, because they want to represent a group of people who don't need any representation. Why would you want to be the voice of the non-select guy, the educated lame, if none of these caricatures even exist? It's all fake. It's all here to waste time. It's all here to keep your mind off of productivity, to keep your mind off getting your own money together. If you really wanted to end the relationship conversation, you'll put yourself in a greater financial status and you would travel the world and find the best people to work with. The moment you have the power to insource and outsource things, the moment you can pay a la carte for experiences that people waste their whole life on, that's when you've won. That's what I'm saying. But I get these dudes' ability to lie about the circumstances that they're in. It makes a lot of sense to me. It does. If you went out and you invested in the wrong product and you got nothing, no returns on investments, no receipts out of it, the first thing you would try to do is try to pack this place full of as many people as possible to go down your failed path. That's what you would do if you actually lost and you're too embarrassed to admit that you lost. That's exactly what you would do. I've never seen men try to gaslight other men into bad situations like I see here. Like these people talk as if you're going to have these relationship issues forever. And that's all they can talk about because it's their life experience. The moment you just have simply basic arithmetic based conversations and outcomes more than these people do, you're already way better than they are. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Erica Williams. That's why we like to be in Povers on TV. She has actual results and the solutions for folks. Many of these folks got to get outside in the real world. Yeah, you see, they're not gonna put anybody from Black YouTube on TV in that position. They're not gonna be able to sell advertising to most of the stuff that's being talked to or about around here. They're not gonna be able to do that. First of all, you got to have a believable story. Then your story is going to be checked out from beginning to end. You think that they were just going to put that woman on TV and not check out her receipts and her results? Unsatisfied customers, so that way they can blow up in her face and cause them some real advertising revenue dollars? No. The problem is that people want to be in charge, but they don't want to be responsible for anything. And that's really what the problem is. People want to be leaders, but they don't want to be responsible for anything. They want to have this liberal interpretation of freedom without consequence, without investment. Everybody's going to do the work, and the only thing they're going to be able to do is just sit back there like a bat catcher with a bat catcher's mitt in baseball and just catch all the returns of everybody else putting in the work. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I get it. This level of conversation gaslights a lot of people. This conversation gets a lot of people upset, but it doesn't really provide any tangible type of results for people. There's a hell of a lot more lamer things there are going on in this space that has nothing to do with access to women. A lot of ways that these dudes act around here is beyond lame. Beyond lame. Actually, it don't even actually lame would be like a high bar for some of this activity that I see going on around here. That's why I don't mind staying. I had my money together before I came to YouTube. I don't need no damn alliances. I can speak my piece. I don't need to team up and do all this goofy shit. I don't need to do none of that. I can just tell people the raw truth, real, keep it moving. And I'm always going to be nearly 100% right because I'm not compromised by the cult of personality that I'm trying to build around here. I'm trying to fix problems. I'm trying to fix people. If they want the information, if they want to be fixed. But there's a lot of people who don't want that. They've already given up, and that's okay too. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because look, I want to help these people be my next business partner someday. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating my next business partners that I'm going to be looking at 5 years down the road. And people ask me why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. To create my next business partners 5 or 6 years down the road after they left all this stuff alone, after they got their money together, after they feel like they're at a dead end. Because when I team up with people, I want that stuff all the way out your system before we start getting you into this system. Because we cannot bring your ass around the Defense Department with you not being able to handle your relationship issue. Relationship issues are something that animals have figured out. I mean, packs of cats and wild dogs have this relationship thing figured out way better than we do. You could waste a whole bunch of time with this conversation. I guarantee you, your life will go nowhere. Because if the people who are preaching this same stuff is in the same position that they're in, I can guarantee you that you're going to be in the same position that you're in listening to them. Then they have to turn the internet off and go back to their real life. Don't be one of those people, man. I'm telling you that that stuff is out of style. I'm telling you that that stuff leads and ends nowhere. It does. I've never seen so many misapplied people all over the country than I've seen in my entire life than right now. And this is not a black thing. It's a white thing. It's a Latino thing. It's an Asian thing. It's an Arab thing. Yeah, I've even seen misapplied Indian people, misapplied Native American people who grew up in a stronger culture and had everything there for them, and they decided to piss it to the wind. Somebody else was going to do the work. Y'all got to turn this stuff off, man, because this stuff right here is going to cloud your judgment to the point to where you're going to be in one of these situations where you really wish that you had followed this advice. I run into some of those guys too. It's all fun and games until you get somebody pregnant. What's going on, spiritual hope? What's going on, low scapper, dick thug? It's all fun and games until you're calling your ass by 3 names. You coming your ass down to the police station, whole reputation and life being upended. They're asking questions to everybody. They're going through the text messages on your phone, all this stuff. Yeah, not being disciplined has a cost to it. And you only see it when you run out of sand in the hourglass. Everybody is leveraging these people's inexperience and most of these women's inability to choose properly. That's what's being leveraged here. Better yet, you better hope your ID has the correct address on it, or else your ass will go to the HR office trying to figure out why your check is 25% less, because that's the max they can take. What's going on, Lana Judah? What's going on, TJ? It's for real. I used to be in the groups of some of these Facebook groups, looking at some of these dudes who've been following all this advice for years, and the moment that they get somebody pregnant, how these people give them the cold shoulder. That's right, them consequences became real, and them friends became quite ghost. I had one of these dudes telling me he wish he could be an educated lane. He wish he wouldn't have put all of his self-esteem into gaslighting other men, messing around with the circumstances he knew damn well that he had no business being a part of. They sure did. They sure did. Say it again. Obsidian, Edward, BGS. Oh yeah, man. They blew her up. They just wanted a voice that they could respect, that could tell their story. That's one of the most dangerous positions that you can be in. That's why I'm more rep here. They kept outsourcing things that was their responsibility. You shouldn't be outsourcing your picking a mate to a person who I can't even imagine it even doing that for a second. Yeah, you really think that she had 500,000 views on that video because of women? You really think that? You really think that she had 500,000 views on that video talking about the women that she was helping get off the market, how unrealistic her their dating stances were, and you know what she got? A promotion to do it on live TV now. That's what I'm saying, man. Get your stuff together. Listen, the actual women who are on your side don't really give a damn about who you date. They just care about whether or not your ass is happy and being productive out here. I have never seen within my circle a person looking at a person like they done went crazy because this person is dating XYZ level person. Never seen it. Now I have seen it where nobody's happy and everybody hates the fact that somebody has found some level of happiness. I've always seen that. And it's always the people who are limited are the people who want to limit others. You got pro blacks without a family telling you who the hell that you're going to be dating at the end of the day. And they haven't even found nobody among this stuff. I'm talking about men and women alike. Yeah, brilliance. I see that too. But you have to realize is that I mean the only help you're gonna get right now is institutional. That's it. This stuff really isn't that difficult, man. Like beneath every other nonsensical fight we have in this space, this is among the worst ones. Because it's nothing but a civil war where nobody knows who's wearing what uniform. So everybody just assigns themselves a group of people who they think that everybody wants to be at the end of the day. It's crazy. But even he's smart enough not to go too far or to put himself in front of the wrong people. Because let me tell you, these feminists are trying to take that dude's head off. And he's not going to put himself in a situation where he's just going to get walked in on by some of these people. I don't think he's that dumb. He, you see, that's why I don't watch the show. I just hear this bullshit from my sister about what happened on the show. And she attempts to try to talk to me about it. Where I don't want to talk about that type of shit. But yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, she's in her 50s too. But y'all got to realize, man, this stuff is entertainment for these people, man. It's entertainment to try to get you off into a marriageable situation that you can ruin your whole life over. These people are going to commercial breaks and cashing million dollar checks. You still got to deal with this person at the end of the day. That's crazy. Nope. As you know, you're a traveling nurse. You see it. You see it right now. When you was in Lewiston, Maine, you seen the shit. Just like when I seen the shit 5 years ago when I was there. Man, I felt uncomfortable like you wouldn't believe in Lewiston, Maine. That place felt like Mississippi all over again. And I'm talking about 5 years ago. When you have so many people misapplied within the environment, So many people misapplied to the point to where you have immigrants who are just pretty much power walking throughout your environment, buying up everything. Your whole society has failed. You raised a whole bunch of weak ass people who could not do anything in society, and the people who just barely got just above average skill sets are going through that buying up all the property. That's crazy. What's going on, Scott Hayward? Thanks for the $10 super chat, Dick Doug. I hear a lot in the space about understanding the nature of them. Since when did we have to like a particular nature? I don't like I don't like the nature of the tapeworm. Yeah, like understanding the you gotta understand this, understanding the nature of something. I know enough about lions to not step my ass in that cage. I know enough about lions to not do that. I know enough about alligators and crocodiles not to go swimming my ass into murky ass water when I know that's where crocodiles and alligators live at. Because, see, when you want to try to understand the nature of something, you're trying to feed yourself into a specific situation, and then you're going to try to get yourself out of the situation. Yeah, look up the fallacy called refuge in the lion's mouth. That's what that is. I'm not trying to learn the nature of things that I'm not trying to be at the end of the day. Like, listen, if you don't want to be in a specific place at the end of the day, why on the earth would you want to learn the ins and outs of a place that you're not trying to be at the end of the day? Why would you go out and specifically go after the information on a very specific place that you're not trying to end up at the end of the day? They don't have how to be homeless classes online for you to take for a reason. They don't have homeless 101 in college. Nowhere. Why? Because that's a place where you end up at after you done damaged and destroyed all of your choices. I've done it twice. An academic lesson about a place where you don't need to be is very simple. Just damn, look at it, listen to it. I don't want any of that. Where's the best stuff that's the opposite of that? That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's always the people who want to get you to know the nature of something. When you ask them for success or results, they don't even have any points on the board to show you. And then you become the problem whenever you start asking for tangible results. That's when you become the problem. You become the problem because you don't take things at face value. You become the problem. Because BS artists can't stand skepticism. They can't stand it. They want to be believed without question. And if you question them, it's like a death sentence to them. They don't want to look incompetent, but they want you to just surrender to them fully. They think it is a knock on their character for you to question them. But they get to question your motivations all the time. They get to fill you with doubt all the time. Again, there are no Pookie and Ray Rays and there are no educated lames. It's a spectrum that is shared between all people within this construct. The women, yes, they're going to give access to two groups of people. The first group who are mesmerized by it, the second group by the people who are fully controlled by it. And they're not going to give it to people who just want some, just to be wanting it. When they can give it to somebody and get a whole bunch of power out of it and a whole bunch of self-esteem out of it. It makes all the sense in the world to me. Even if I'm not the one that's being chosen, I don't care about that. I could just go to different people. Wonder why? I got value. When you got value, you can go to other places. You can insource, you can outsource. You don't have to worry about your needs being met by one specific group of people. That's not how businesses don't even think that. Businesses right now who cannot find IT people, you know where they go? Arab countries, Asian countries. They don't wait. They don't go to the government. They do go to the government through lobbying, but they don't wait on people to skill up. They just go find different people. You can actually do that with a semi truck, Judge. You can do that. You can cook a pretty mean salmon in aluminum foil on a semi truck engine. Don't knock it till you tried it. Don't knock it till you tried it. Yeah. What's going on, masculinity? Thanks for posting the Patreon link. Yep. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There is nothing like driving all the way to Bangor, Maine, and having a nice cup of clam chowder. Nothing like it. And and people also be slipping on Maine because Maine got a lot of beaches and a lot of water up there and a lot of coastline up there. Y'all be slipping on Maine in the summer. Maine ain't nothing to play around with. Hold on a second. I love me some Maine. Let me tell you. While y'all going all the way to Ocean City, Maryland, and all that kind of stuff, no, man, I'm way up there in Maine, having fun. I am telling you guys. So let me go ahead and get up out of here. I gotta be in Warrensburg, Missouri by Monday. I want to thank you guys for coming through. I want to thank you guys for supporting my channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Erica Williams' channel if y'all want to know some good financial information that is very good. Make sure you subscribe to Spiritual Logic Hulk's channel, Ike Okamine's channel, and also a series that I'm going to be coming up with. It's going to be called My IT Journey. I'm going to be bringing on these people in YouTube who are in the IT field, and I want them to talk about their story. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through. I will see y'all on Sunday night with King Sigma at 6 p.m. Thank y'all so much for listening. Y'all guys have a really nice day. Peace.